Aloha, namaste, y bienvenidos. My name is Desi Bartlett, and today, as you can probably already tell, is all about winding down. So grab your yoga mat, a bolster if you have one. If you don't, no worries, grab a pillow from your bed and some blocks if you have them. Also, put on your comfy, cozy clothes because you might drift off to sleep at the end of our practice. Let's get started. Let's begin in child's pose. Go ahead and come onto your knees and separate your knees wider than your hips. If you'd like to use your bolster to support your forehead, please do. You're going to drape your arms forward and bring your forehead to the bolster or the floor. Breathe a little bit deeper. And see if you can allow your breath to become audible to you. So listen for the sound of the inhalation and the release of the exhalation. We'll be here for about 10 more seconds. Allow your hips to be heavy. Allow your energy to ground. And breathe. Ever so slowly and gently walk the hands back. You can bring your knees closer together. Hands come to namaste, and take this opportunity to set a clear intention for your practice. Collectively, we will work with the intention of letting go. Letting go of any stress, repetitive thoughts, fear, or anxiety, so that you can enjoy peaceful and restful slumber. And so it is. Let's come onto the hands and knees. Your bolster's there if you want to just back it up so that it's under your belly or out of your way. Please do so now. Knees are hips width apart. Inhale, look up to the sky, lift your tailbone. Exhale, round your spine, lift your belly button. A couple more times. Inhale, look up. Exhale and round. So it isn't a really active practice. We're not moving through a lot of vinyasas or standing poses, but we do need to wake up your core just a little bit. So even in a sense of relaxation, you're supported. Come back to your hands and knees, neutral spine, and begin some hip circles, nice and easy in one direction. If you hear or feel a little snap, crackle, pop in your knees or hips, it's okay. Totally normal. But of course, if you need any padding under your knees, you can always pause our practice and grab a pillow or a blanket to put under the knees. And let's reverse the direction. All the way around. I like to let my head and neck kind of come along for the ride so that there's no break in the energy of the circular pattern. Pause here. Let's crisscross the ankles behind you. You can move the bolster off to the side if you have not done so already. Scoot your sit bones forward a little bit, and please turn to face me. We're going to move into a 90-90 stretch. So you bend your right lower leg and then your left. And it's called a 90-90 stretch for obvious reasons. You have a 90-degree angle in the front and the back. Turn towards that front leg. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Now the purpose of the blocks in the practice is to fill in the space between you and the floor. So if you're feeling really far away from the floor. You can try your forearms there. If you're feeling, pretty close, but you want some support underneath your forehead, allow your head to rest on the block. And so we never want anything to be just sort of hanging in space in the practice of yoga. And the reason for that is because when there are limbs, when the arms, the legs, the hands, the feet, or even the head are just kind of hanging in space, the nervous system doesn't release completely. So we want your body to feel completely supported so that we can get into rest and digest. You have 3 more slow, steady breaths here. If you've had a particularly stressful day, see if you can drag out the length of the exhalation by a second or 2. And so most of the time in yoga, we talk about balance and balance between the inhale and the exhale. But if you need just a little simple hack for releasing stress, try to make the exhalation 2 seconds longer than the inhalation. And just one more big breath. Good. And you can come up. Hands will come behind you. Feet come in front of you, and if you're feeling a little blissed out, you're doing it right. And you're simply going to allow your knees to swivel side to side. So all the way over, just a little bit of hip mobility. All the way over, all the way over. And the next time that you land to the right, take your bottom foot and place it on top of that top thigh. And you'll feel a stretch through the outer thigh and hip. One more big breath. Okay, and now feet are on the floor. Let's set up your 90-90 stretch on the second side. So you bend the front knee, bend the back knee. If you were using a block, go ahead and grab it now. Get ready. Turn your torso to face the front leg. Find length through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, fold. So just be really aware that you're not collapsing into the pose. We still want to find length, and then through that length, we find softness. So you can bring your forehead or your cheek to the floor or the block. Or if you're close to the floor, but you don't necessarily have a block, you can also create a little pillow with your hands. One side of the body is always a little bit different from the other. I have a friend who puts it really beautifully. She says that the 2 sides of the body are sisters, they are not twins. So this side might feel a little bit different, and that's okay. We'll be here for about 30 more seconds. So again, please make sure that nothing is just hanging in space. Your head, your arms, everything is supported. And just allowing the body to almost snuggle into the poses. Last 10 seconds. Feel that little bit of warmth from the breath. And if you feel like you want to stay here, you're doing it right. But now it's time to move on. And I promise you, you will find that feeling again. Let's bring the feet in front. And once again, allow your legs to swivel side to side. So the knees move to one side, the knees move to the other side. You have that little bit of hip mobility. And the next time that they land on the left, keep them there. Bottom foot comes on top. And breathe. So I have a tendency to be a little bit externally rotated when I walk. My tiptoes turn out a little bit. I think that's true of a lot of women, especially if you were a ballerina or had babies. So this internal rotation, this stretch, I feel. If you feel it a little bit more, as I do, breathe a little deeper. And bring it back. Good work. Okay, you're going to bring one leg out to the side and the other foot comes to the inner thigh. First two fingers come to the big toe, arm goes up and over. So you have a great big side bend. If your hand does not reach the foot, it's totally fine. But remember, we don't want it to hang in space. So what is the option? The options are hand to the thigh. Hand can wrap around behind you and tuck in the opposite thigh. Or this is sort of a fun one for your head. You can grab your block, bring it to the inside of the leg, and just chill out on the side of your head. 10 seconds here. This one sort of reminds me of the statue of the thinking man. If you've ever seen that beautiful statue or a photograph of it in Europe. Turn the chest skyward. Be aware that you're not collapsing in on yourself. And slowly come on up. We'll switch sides. It should sort of feel like you had a massage on one side of your body. So we want to give just as much attention to the other side. First two fingers come to the big toe. If you can't reach your foot, it's all good. Hold on to the lower leg. I just have really long arms. Let's take this arm up and over. So again, maybe it reaches. Maybe it wraps around. Maybe you like that sort of hanging out pose. Maybe you go into that thinking man posture. But wherever you are, the top shoulder rolls open. Let your hips be heavy. Let your energy ground. So there are times when we drift off into the sleep state when we're just so tired that we collapse. And it isn't really necessarily a pleasant sleep, it's just kind of falling into it. So what if we choose how we approach sleep so that the sleep can be more peaceful and more restorative? And that's what you're doing now. When you're ready, release all of that. Grab your bolster or pillow, bring it in front of you. 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, it's okay. You can always add another pillow so that you've got some height here. Open up those legs. If you're yawning, that's good. It means you are on the way to a blissful sleep. Inhale here. Exhale and fold. So there's sort of no in between. I have folks who go here and say, whoa. And I have folks that come down here and say, more please. So it's up to you. Listen to your body and see where you can feel the stretch in the inner thigh and the hamstrings. But for today's practice, I'm much more interested in every part of your body being supported. It does not have to be the deepest stretch of your life. Feel the support. Your legs are supported by the earth. Your arms are supported by the bolsters and or blocks. Your forehead is supported by your strong arms and hands. Keeping your spine long, drop in. It doesn't always have to be physically. Drop in to your body, to your breath, to your intention. Last 10 seconds. And slowly come up. And I can tell you, it feels like it's sleepy time. So we're gonna go ahead and move in that direction. Get your bolster. Put it between your thighs. Lay on your side. If you have a second bolster and you'd like to use it as a pillow, please do. Otherwise, you can use your bicep and just lay on your side like Sleeping Beauty. Close your eyes. Into side lying Shavasana. Now, this is a variation of this pose that is traditionally practiced during pregnancy. But it's very, very powerful even if you are not pregnant, to allow the body to find rest in a side-lying position. I like this position because it's sort of like fetal pose, the shape that we all began this existence in. And it allows us a moment to pause, to release, to drop in. Relax your feet, your ankles, your lower legs and knees. Relax and release the larger muscles of the thighs and the hips. The belly and the back soften. The chest and the upper back softening and relaxing. That feeling of release and softness continues through the arms and the hands as you allow your face to become a reflection of the relaxation that you feel inside. If you feel as though you're going to naturally drift off to sleep, you can simply reach over and allow your device to power down. Or if you know that you prefer to move into the bed, we'll gently come out of this to conclude the practice. Press into the front hand. Move slowly. There is no rush. We want to keep you in this soft, meditative state so that you can go to bed and have really sweet dreams. Bring the hands to the heart, bowing the head. The divine light in me recognizes and bows to the divine light in you. Thank you for sharing this space and time with me. May you drift off into peaceful and beautiful dreams. Namaste.